everyone, and welcome to All on the Table. Today is another one of our special episodes. This time it is me and Matt. As you know, I'm Jen Giggles, the Game Master for Secrets of Small Gods, and Matt here is playing...
I'm playing Tybal Toldrum, the Catfolk Rogue. Apparently he's off to do a little bit of shenanigans, which is always fun. As Jen said, I'm Matthew R. Dawson. I go by Scruffy Wanderer on the tweets, the instas, and all that nonsense. Howdy.
Before we get started on our wonderful solo missions episode here, I am going to do a shameless plug for our first product release on Drive-Thru RPG. If you search for Pride Slimes, we'll also have a link in the description below. You can get our actual first release under the Transistor Games. All proceeds from this, any profit we're making is automatically being donated. So I think it's like $3.50 for each sale of the 5 because of the processing. Goes directly to mutual aid. So that mutual aid is just going to go typically out through our partners at Gender Federation, but may go elsewhere to people in need in the LGBTQ plus community, especially, trans people of color, because that's so much harder for them to get what they need through that. So we're here to support the other members of our community, and we're doing that through the use of the Pride Slimes. And look for us in October to be releasing a completely different thing during one of our streams. So we're going to have a stream with the mutual aid event in October, and come join us, as you will have a chance to, on any donation level, get a copy of a preview copy of our next release.
Very, very cool. I got it on the thing here so everybody can see it.
Yeah, thank you. That's just a wonderful thing that we managed to get taken care of. So you've gone to bed in that inn that we just finished. The last episode we did, they took a night in the inn. In the morning, they asked a few questions and started hiking. Well, right before they woke up during that night, Ty has a dream. And he wakes up outside of a big, tall building with windows. There's windows covering massive floors worth of height here. And if he looks in, it looks like a library.
Well, I remember laying down in the bed in the inn, and here I am. I'm gonna pinch myself real quick. Nothing.
A voice whispers to you. The answer you truly seek is inside.
Ty just kind of does a quick turnaround, looking, trying to find whose voice he hears.
He doesn't know.
Well, I'm looking at these windows here. I can see the inside, and I see a library. Do I see any movement or anything like that? Is there lights or anything?
No, that doesn't seem to be.
Do I got my pack with me?
Nope. You have no equipment with you whatsoever.
Oof, well, I am not a fan of this. Man, I don't even have my lucky penknife on me. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and check that there door. Is it locked?
No, it opens right up. And inside, you see this.
Looks like a little bit of a foyer.
Yeah, everything is books in here. Everywhere you look, nothing but books.
Is there a pathway through these books or anything like that?
You can kind of see one right in this area.
Okay. I would like to, real quick, just pop out a detect magic.
Okay. Everything.
Oh, well, shit.
And when I say everything, how do you perceive the magic when you cast this spell?
Well, you send out a pulse that registers the presence of magic. It's just like a feeling that I get.
Okay. So this you are vibrating by the ping coming back. You are surrounded by magical things.
Oh man, oh man, oh man. This is just giving me a headache. Well, weird voice, let's take a gander, shall we?
Okay. You can come up to about this space right in here.
Okay.
And the voice says, at every corner, you will find a question. The first question is, what knowledge do you seek?
I mean, that's a kind of subjective thing here. Because do I want to answer you something simple like, I want to know why the fuck I'm here? That's one thing. But on the other hand, what knowledge do
When
I
you
seek?
say that,
Mm-hmm.
when you say that, this path lights up.
Now that's just eerie. So what if I would have said the knowledge I seek is the knowledge of I don't know, elephants? Would a different path light up?
Nothing lights up.
Now, looking about, I can see down this path here. If I look past that, like down here, do I see anything?
No, it's pitch black, as is the path up here.
If I like wave my hand through it, can I feel anything?
Nope.
Okay, well, let's play this game then, I think. I got my magic at least, so I'm not going to be too unprepared. Let's walk on down.
Right here, next to this art easel, and the easel has the painting on the easel that's there is of the cosmology of the world. And so you have your gods painted above, and your devils painted below, and these levels of circles going down, and then suddenly a wide range which are celestials. And this painting is definitely magical because it is changing based on where you're focusing on it. And when you look below, you'll see your evil gods, effectively, right? So the gods of the gods who lead the demons and the devils, and you see big circles, and there's some small circles, and then you have your devils and your demons rows, and other types of infernals show up in large clusters on this cosmology, and the same goes coming down. You have your archons and other messengers and such from the celestial side of things. But whenever you focus on either the big gods on either side, they come into good focus, but there's always these little itty-bitty circles around them. And next to it on this, there's a tome next to it right over here.
Focusing on that painting for a moment, we've been dealing with a lot of things that want to be gods or trying to be gods. We call them smaller gods. Now, do I see any of that? Can I focus in on those little circles and maybe see them?
You do successfully focus in on two, on the lower side of things. So right below the big gods on the bottom, there are two circles that you can kind of see. One is fairly medium-sized, but that is definitely the god that you faced in the in the Isles.
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely that definitely something of that image from what was described to you by Lila in her dream that she had on the boat.
Yeah.
You're like, no, that matches Lila's description pretty well.
Mm.
The other one is this cross between a dragon and something else.
Oh my.
And it seems to be, what the kobolds were after.
Hoo-wee. All these things trying to get these little guys back up again. I'm going to poke one of them with my little cat claw.
The book next to you flips open to a page.
Oh, well. Now, see, that's convenient. You're going to turn right to the page number for me. I appreciate a good Dewey Decimal System. Let's take a look.
You take a look in the book. The book describes very clearly that god, how its worshippers behave, what they used to be, where they are now in the cosmology. It's like 3 or 4 pages of very clear, detailed descriptions of it.
Well, hey, painting and book, I don't suppose you got any information on what that necromancer's buddies, the bandits that we're currently heading to, is that thing that they're probably worshiping on here anywhere? And I'm just going to start tapping.
Nothing. You only can find the information on the gods you know. So, if you hit the small circles that are grayed out, that you can't really focus on, nothing comes of it.
I mean, that makes sense. I don't really know anything about religion other than the fact that, I'm not a fan.
But you asked your question.
Mm-hmm. Why am I here?
And that flips to a page when you say that while you're standing there.
Okay. What we got on this page?
This page says, the following is the index of dead gods. It's just a list of names. It's literally a list of names that goes on for about 50 pages. And we're not talking like 12-point font, double space. We're talking, name after name after name, alphabetical with commas. And as you're flipping pages, you see a name pop in to that list.
Okay.
It doesn't, none of the big gods or any of the minor ones you even know of would have changed their images on the map, on the painting next to you. But a name of a god joined the ranks while you were flipping those pages.
Oh. Join the rank? What the? Are you implying to me that while I was standing here yapping, some idiot turned into a god?
No. A name appeared in the list of dead gods.
Oh, they appeared in the list of dead gods. Oh, that's even more interesting. What's the name?
The name you flip to, the name is Rexta.
I assume that don't ring no bells whatsoever for my -1 religion.
Oh, no. The name is nothing you would ever recognize.
Yeah, it could be the Queen of France for all I know, but apparently it just died.
Yes.
Okay, that's interesting. Weird disembodied voice. Someone's killing gods besides us?
A pathway lights up. You can see suddenly more light shining off to the side near you.
I don't suppose I can take this book with me, can I?
No, it is so huge that you could not physically lift it, and you're pretty sure neither could the rest of your party.
I'm going to tap on the page one more time and say, hey, I don't suppose you could tell me, like Are there any weird gods in my old city of Absalom?
There's an entire multi-hundred like you don't know how this book works, but there's hundreds of pages of the gods of Absalom.
Ugh. Never mind.
Obviously, it starts with all the major gods because they're all worshipped there. Several minor gods because they're all worshipped there. And it keeps going on with pages upon pages upon pages of them.
I'm just a nimble kitty. This is a bit much for me, but it's good to know that there's a lot of them out there. Let's go check out this new lit up path.
Yeah, there's a book that is, you see, falls out and hits right here.
Okay, librarian, let's see what you got this time. I'm going to scoop up that book.
That book has has a description of has a description saying it's a book of war.
Okay, Book of War. War of 100 Years. What we got going on?
Gosh, I don't even remember the name of it personally. Let me grab it here just a sec. If it's even mentioned in here. It does not give you any information. It does not specifically state what war it is, but if you look through the information, you'll find that Iomedae is mortal in this book. So this is before she ascended to being a god. That name strikes you because she's one of the major deities, except she used to be human. Everybody knows that. So this book is telling the story of a war before she became a god.
So a great war happened long time ago. I mean, it don't surprise me that mortals become gods. In fact, I'm pretty sure if I'm remembering correctly, there's this gigantic labyrinth thing in Absalom that if you reach the end of it, you can become a god.
And in that in that book, as you're flipping, it describes very much the section of it. This talks about the assault that Tar-Baphon, the Lich King, did. It talks about that in several places that Tar-Baphon did on Andraste, the messenger of one of the gods.
And Tar-Baphon, that's the Lich dude?
Yeah, Tar-Baphon is the Lich King.
And what did he do to Andraste?
She was the holy messenger of a god of good.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the war, she was neutral evil.
So she got turned.
She got killed, resurrected, re-killed, resurrected again, I think. So yeah, there was a lot of torture. She was tortured, basically, among other things, yeah.
Oh, wow. This is a very, very depressing book. I feel bad for poor old Andraste. I don't suppose she ever got counseling or therapy or anything and tweaked her brain.
No, not really.
That's a shame. I don't know about you, disembodied voice, but I'm a firm believer that therapy is a good thing. I feel like Andraste could use a little bit of that.
Yes, the archives do speak of that very clearly.
So cool that somebody killing gods right now. Andraste was screwed over by Tarbathan, and while Iomade was still immortal. This is all horrible, horrible stuff. What does it relate to the critters we're currently dealing with?
This path lights up.
Well, you know what? Let the light guide us. As I got the book, I'm just kind of walking through the hallway. I'm going to be. I don't know if you know this disembodied voice, but the dude who taught me a little bit of magic, he always liked to say that knowledge is the most important weapon you can have. So I assume what you're trying to arm me right now, and I do appreciate that. What else you got for me?
In this, there's another book. Again, it's so large that you have to pick it up you have to use both hands to pick it up. Put down the book you had, pick up the new book. It's kind of the way it's going to work.
Mm-hmm. Okay, what we got here?
This particular book describes the ritual to resurrect someone, as in a true resurrection.
Wow.
Not something that you could even wrap your head around.
No,
the magic in it is way beyond your leagues, but that's what this book is all about.
Wow. This is fascinating. I am a quartercaster who can't do crap. This is cool and all, don't get me wrong. What are you trying to tell me here, disembodied voice? Are you trying to say that that God or other gods could be resurrected too?
And you hear a chime as you are far, far away.
Okay. I'm gonna take
you just
that.
Heard a chime.
Yeah. I'm gonna take that as a yes. In the distance, let's go head on back and see what's going on.
This whole path is now lit up. Going beyond there's still one dark path over here, and there are dark paths to the side, here, 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 and here.
Well, we check out the first one, I suppose.
There is, when you get up here, a book lying right here.
What we got?
This one is a list of necromancer spells, with short descriptions as what they can do.
Mm-hmm. We'll peruse that a little bit.
There is, in very large print, because the disembodied voice seems to think you might need a larger print for this. None of the spells are really described how to do them, just what they do. So you'll have summon skeleton, and it just says, this obviously summons a skeleton. Raise zombies. You get the still fleshy zombies. They're, disease-ridden and whatnot. So it gives a description of what, kind of everything.
Mm-hmm.
One of the larger print ones is a spell called False Resurrection.
False resurrection. I assume it does what the name implies, but is there more to it?
The description is when this spell is cast, it will grant a body to the soul, but unlike a true resurrection, the body does not come back, just the soul. This, however, is not sufficient to be a lich. That is a notation very specifically in there.
Okay, so if I'm reading the spell correctly, it draws a soul into a new body.
Yes, that's what it says.
But it doesn't.
It returns it to its dead body. Basically, is how it describes it.
Oh,
returns it to the body, but the body does not come back to life. So you would have a sentient zombie.
Ew.
Or a sentient skeleton, or,
I was reading this story the other day about people who would come back to life all mutated and whatnot. They're called ghouls. Probably a little bit different than that, but a sentient zombie who can walk around and talk and is basically undead, that does not sound pleasant. So what's up, disembodied voice? Like, what we got going on here? Somebody putting souls back in bodies and making corpses or something? What we got?
The path lights up.
Wonder if this has to do with the necromancer we've been chasing around as I'm walking around. Doo-doo-doo-doo-doo.
There is a big chime when you say that.
Oh, that must be it. That does not bode well.
And as you were walking, more light just flooded in, lighting up this path. And you've got dark spaces all around.
Bernard always used to tell me that necromancers were the lowest of the low magic users. What they do is just kind of disgusting, and I don't disagree. Let's see what we got over here.
There's nothing in this intersection, just darkness. No hints, no clues, nothing.
Okay,
As you can see there's it does show you there's a bookshelf here. Like you can see the end of it, but it's darkness all around.
I'll go and just reach around and see if I can feel anything.
Nope.
Just step on right into the shadows. Don't I have a spell? What's my spell?
Bloop. You got blooped back because when you stepped, you didn't feel any ground. You got blipped back to where you were.
Okay, I'll take that as a no. Thank you very much. I feel that bookshelf. Anything on the bookshelf?
The bookshelf has a plate describing what it is. What languages do you speak?
A handful. Let's see. I speak Common, Amuran, Goblin, Orcish, Gnomish, and Draconic.
It's in Draconic. It's an old form. Like you're reading it, it's like thy old, they're like old. It's like early modern Draconic kind of thing.
Oh,
and
Fusro Da.
Right. And so he's and it says across it, the sins against dragons.
The sins against dragons. I read out loud as I'm looking at that. I mean, I ain't gonna lie, dragons kind of commit a lot of sins themselves. Tap that name nameplate a little bit. What are we looking for here? We looking for somebody screwing with dragons too? They gonna make a dragon? They gonna bring a dragon into a corpse? That sounds horrible.
You see lighting up paths.
Man, don't tell me that necromancer is gonna make a lich freak or a zombie dragon. I don't want to fight no zombie dragon. Is that gonna be the guide? As I'm walking.
And as you come here, there is another book stand here.
This book's gonna be about zombie dragons. I'm gonna be really disappointed. Let's take a look.
The book is not. The book actually lists the sins against dragons. It does include making a dragon, making an undead dragon, and then the greater sin of making a dragon a sentient undead. But it also includes the murder of their god, and a few other things. That were things people did against dragons centuries, millennia ago, really, with the way the planet works.
Okay. Yeah, I am a little bit disappointed in this because the thing that I'm afraid of seems to be on this list, as well as screwing with dragon gods. I don't want to deal with no dragon gods, but I also don't want to deal with no dragon zombie. Especially one who's conscious, because I imagine he's going to be angry AF. So, I don't suppose you have a book on really easy ways to deal with zombie dragons? No?
Well, a path does light up.
No, shit. I don't like being right.
And as you come up, you should see this right over here, another pedestal with a book on it.
Walk over to that. I am terrified of what I'm about to read.
This is a book of rituals.
Okay. Rituals. We talking like the Necronomicon kind of thing? Am I about to have to fight my doppelganger?
No. This is a list of forgotten rituals that should never be resurrected.
I believe that. Looking through this, these are the depictions are graphic and unsettling. I don't suppose I can find. Yeah.
Almost all of it's in language in words you do not understand. One of them, however, is one of the rituals is summoning an outsider.
Now, when I'm reading outsider, what's like outsider meaning just an extraplanar being?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like well, some of those that were prevented from entering the universe upon its creation.
Oh my. I've heard of this sort of thing. I'm not a fan of it. Still having a hard time understanding where this all connects to a zombie dragon. Unless you plan on putting like the soul of an outsider in a zombie dragon. That just, please don't do that. Let's hope that's not it.
So in this case, two separate paths light up.
I'm going to tap that book of rituals. I don't want to deal with you. I'm going to check down here.
There's a book that's somewhat off the shelf, not quite all the way. And if you grab it, it's very specifically a dissertation on souls.
Whew. Oh, this is...
It's written approximately 3,000 years from now.
3,000 years from now. Oh, did I write this? Nope, not me.
And one of the chapters is titled On Outsiders and Souls.
Okay, what do we got?
They don't have them. To summarize, around 300, 400 words, a couple pages worth, right? It's outsiders don't have souls. Their bodies are so connected that they cannot remove you cannot remove the soul from the body. When one dies, the other dies. This seems to have been experimental process to learn this.
Whoever wrote this book was kind of a jackass. Put that back.
Really disturbed, because parts of it are very graphic about experiments on people.
This is why I say if you're going to be using magic, just keep it simple, like me. Less danger. Okay, disembodied voice, I'm down the hallway. I'm really disturbed by what y'all showing me here. What we got now?
In this intersection, there's nothing. Not even a nameplate. You can see books on the. You can see books along the shelves and all space. At the on the end of it here. Mm-hmm. And you could read you could potentially read their titles, but there's no more information.
So gonna pull one out at random.
Okay.
Toss it. Do it again. Toss it. Okay, I'm down the hallway. I don't see anything that's really relevant to liches or dragons or zombies.
The first book you grab says on resurrection, on false resurrection. And the second book you grab says on false resurrection. And the third book you grab says on false resurrection.
Are they all books the same color and all that?
They're all they change color, but when you turn around, you never hear the books you pull off the shelf hit the floor.
Okay, false resurrection. What we got?
It hints that the book describes a lot of really strange things that don't make much sense to you, because mostly it's in necromancy, pseudonyms and weird alchemical text terms, things that are not normal for even somebody who's trained in alchemy like you are. Somebody who has a knowledge of ruins. These things are really weird, and you're pretty sure they're very specific to necromancy, which you do not study.
Yeah, no, but
the gist of it you get is that there is a way to return a lich to their body in this.
Well, I'll take,
because it is possible to kill a lich. So if you have the lich's body and you return the soul to the body, they could, in theory, become a lich again.
Okay, we can put a lich's soul back in their body. That's good to know. Looks like this is a very, very complicated thing, and
it is
a bit beyond my capabilities.
It does state very clearly in there that you need 6 necromancers to do the ritual. That spell is ritual only. So you saw it on list of necromancer spells. It's listed, it's specifically noted as being a ritual. You know you need at least 6 to do it.
Okay, that is interesting. You trying to tell me that this is what the bandits are doing?
Nothing happens.
Okay.
You also had something about summoning an outsider. Does that have a thing to do with it?
Well, that's a really good question. We found a book about outsiders, and we found a book about that their souls are connected to their bodies, and it's, now I'm seeing this thing here that says it's really hard to get a necromancer or lich's soul back in their body. Well, I don't get it. Are you trying to say that you're going to put an outsider into a neck? That just don't make sense to me.
So, in this case, a path lights up.
Okay. Check down here. See what we got.
This section is on, once again, on gods. And what beings can become gods.
And start looking through some of these books here.
Excuse me. Yeah, the first one you grab very specifically hints that it's possible to make an outsider a god.
I mean, that don't really surprise me none. Some weird, powerful being that soul is tied to their bodies. It's pretty damn close to what a godhood is anyway. I mean, let's be honest. Just a god is a much more powerful douchebag. That's cool and all, but So we got some people who are making, trying to make a dragon lich. You got somebody who's trying to turn an outsider into a god. Now, how are these connected? Is it the same individuals? Are they trying to combine all these things? Do I got 2 of them I got to deal with? Ooh, more light.
More light. And here you find another pedestal. And the book here very specifically talks about the God Wars, where the gods themselves fought each other.
Yeah, I do remember hearing something about that.
It's not very clear whether there were any winners decided at any point, but there is very clearly a statement about major gods and minor gods, and how the different gods were eventually sorted into these positions, right? But the most of the minor gods have been forgotten over the millennia. And so then there were never very many of them to begin with. And it talks about how, and then obviously there's a section in there about the war that you saw earlier, where Iomede's ascension happening after it. But it also, in there hints that Tar-Baphon was trying to ascend.
Okay, yeah, I get that. I imagine that Tar-Baphon was probably doing what they did because they wanted to be a god. That's it. This is just sad, you know. Just be happy with who you are. Why do you need to be a god? It's just no point.
So this lights up a whole section for you right over here.
Check out some books over here.
There are two books that catch your eye. One is on the killing of outsiders.
Oh, now this is interesting. How can I kill an outsider?
It describes it, and basically you have to cut them in half with a portal.
I can't.
The summoning portal, the portal they're summoned through has to cut them in half to kill them.
Like, could I push some outsider across it to cut him? Would that work? Or does it have to be this new portal resummoned right in the same spot where they're standing?
As long as the portal is open and you can get and the outsider is partially in the portal, and when it collapses, it kills them.
Okay. So I think I kind of got an idea here, disembodied voice. If my good buddy Ishii holds an outsider through the portal while I snipe the dude who's holding that portal open, the portal will snap and is going to cut him in half. That's actually a lot of fun. I really like that idea. I don't know if we're going to be able to do it, but that's fun to me.
The second book that catches your attention is on texts that Nethys is writing. So it's basically a list of books that the god of the archive, probably the god you've been talking to as a disembodied voice, Nethys, is currently writing.
Going through that book and I just pause and I say, now wait a minute. Are you trying to tell me that you be writing this damn thing while I'm here all along?
No. This book, I did not write this book. A mage did, and I stole it from him. He does not need to know what works I'm working on.
I mean, well, it depends. Are you doing something nefarious?
Sometimes. But I record everything. You know that Nethys never takes sides and is just the record keeper of the gods.
Okay, Nethys. I can understand and appreciate that. I'm guessing this must be your library here, then.
Yes.
You know, it's pretty impressive. It's a lot bigger than old Bernard's library back in Absalom. It's actually bigger than the Great Library in Absalom, now that I'm thinking about it. You know, one time I actually snuck in there and stole a couple books. You don't want to hear about
Nethys
me.
laughs. I know exactly what you took.
Yeah.
You are a silly. You are not just a nimble kitty. You are a silly kitty.
I mean, you know, we got to do what we got to do. What else you got?
I cannot, however, give you the knowledge. You must ask a question. The right question, or at least close enough.
Okay, cool. Here's my question. We got outsiders and people wanting to make them into gods. We got idiots who are trying to put a soul back in a dead dragon, and they probably wanting that thing to be a small god. Here's my question, though. What do they gain from all this? Like just a powerful thing that they can try to control? Because I get the idea that once you become powerful, you really can't be controlled no more. So what's the end game?
Another light set flashes up.
Oh, interesting. Let's go check this out.
And you see another pedestal with a book in it.
Okay.
And as you rounded the corner, you thought, just maybe, you saw a robed figure setting the book down. You're not sure.
You know, I'm a kind of live and let live kitty cat. So I ain't gonna mess with you. You ain't gonna mess with me. We gonna be cool. Let's check out your book.
This book is a massive tome detailing everything that happened during the God Wars. Everything.
Oh my.
And in the books that, in that list of that book that you had, as everything lit up, and you're probably still carrying the books yet to be written by Nethys.
Mm-hmm.
In that is a book titled The Start of the Next God War, and right above it, How We Avoided the Next God War.
You know, I kind of had a feeling that's where the aim was. You know, if all these smaller gods are trying to come up again and people are trying to make them, chances are they're there to depose the big gods, the current ones. That's my guess. Hey, let's check out how do we avoid this shit?
That's a great question. And that is the right question. A massive section just lights right up.
Oh my.
And it keeps going quite a ways.
You got a lot of books in here.
There's a lot of books in a lot of languages, most of which you don't know.
I mean, I was taught trade languages and stuff like that. The things I needed to know to deal with, like smuggling and trading and things like that. I wasn't expecting that I was going to have to be dealing with no goddamn God wars.
So, when you reach this corner, this lights up. There is a book waiting for you, only one on the entire shelf.
Okay, let's check this one out.
You open up the book. It's titled. It's titled "The Crimes of Tarbafan." And they are numerous. And they are disturbing beyond all belief. It is hundreds of pages thick. The one that catches your eye as you slowly page through, just flipping, seeing what you can see, is On Your Mind. And it says, almost caused a God war. Doesn't say how, just that he did.
Is this Tarbathon dude like back at it again? Are they the ones that are causing all this nonsense?
You see a writing desk at the end.
I hate being right all the time. Boom. Let's go check this out.
On the writing desk is several loose sheets of paper. There's a few journals and, You can see them titled with books that Nethys was currently writing. But this one's just loose sheets of paper, and it describes what would happen if dozens of small gods were suddenly resurrected around the shining sea.
I imagine it would cause chaos, and
The Godlands would be in just utter disarray. Complete shattering of everything.
Okay, so Nethys, we got this lich that keeps trying to be more and more powerful. He's almost started a god war once. Somebody stopped him, I'm guessing. Best way to do it is to chop him in half. Or not him specifically, but the outsider. But then again, maybe we could chop the lich in half after we seal his soul back in his body. That ritual was kind of interesting about that. Look on the paper. Is there like a ink pen or ink and quill?
There is. There is. There's also some blank papers.
Okay.
Dusting sand to set the ink. Everything you would need to write something down.
I'm going to take the quill and I'm going to dip it in the ink, and on that piece of paper that's there, I'm going to write out in a fine script, Tybal and his pals are going to deal with a stupid lich. And then I'm going to say, okay, now, here's my next question. Where is that dude currently?
Nothing changes.
That's disappointing. Come on, Tarbathon, the Lich King. If he's
as you're going on, you're asking these questions, trying to get an answer. The whole the library spins out of existence as you leave this place, the archive. And the only response you hear is, he died in Absalom. And that was it.
As the void swirling about me, Tybal just going to call out, I was just there like a few months ago.
You wake up that morning, and you do pat your pockets, because you remember tucking that paper in, putting it in a pocket. You take it out, it's got all of your notes on it, everything you wrote on those papers. But on the last page, there's another thing in handwriting that is definitely not yours. And it says, you had tasks to do.
Ty's just going to kind of pat that piece of paper and go, fair enough. Oh, look, there's my Molotov cocktail. I guess I better go ahead and stow that real quick.
And that is the end of Ty's adventure in the Godlands. And if you haven't watched any of our other adventure in the Godlands, that has occurred. You can go back. That was Lila's session, and there will be probably no more sessions in the Godlands, but we'll have solo sessions for our other two players as well coming up. So please keep an eye out for those happening later this fall.
Heck yeah.
Thank you for watching this special episode of All on the Table Secrets of Small Gods. I believe this is our third or fourth special episode. I'm forgetting which off the top of my head. And we'll get that in for everybody to watch here shortly. And then you'll probably have, before this even gets done, you'll have watched actually special episode number 4. I do remember it's special number 4 is happening on Saturday this week. So this is going to be special episode number 5. Nice. Thank you all for watching.
Good night.
Bye.